Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another fucking podcast coming to you via Memorex from beautiful Hollywood, California. Joining me, I am Izzy Presley, by the way, as I know a lot of you know already. Joining me again is the one and only, the incomparable, Mr. Benny Reagan. Hello, my friend.
How are ya?
I'm a little nippy, my friend.
It's colder than usual in the greater LA area.
It's a balmy 49 degrees, but I'm not going to complain. It's still warm enough to grill.
Yeah.
You know, we just fired up some chicken. We fired up some pork steaks. You know, drank some beers because, you know, beer is a glorious thing.
Whiskey.
And I'm not complaining because, you know, I just came from Minneapolis and they got dumped on last night. I got out of there just in fucking time. And they just got dumped on, and it's going to drop down to like 4 degrees before wind chill, so fuck that shit. I am happy to be here back in Hollywood.
Show.
Back in Hollywood. How was your turkey day, man?
Mine, I was pretty uneventful. I mean, it nothing special this year. Normally, I go and visit the mom back in St. Louis, and that's always a big ordeal. I mean, it's cool. We just, there's tons of food and we party and we watch great movies and Mystery Science Theater 3000, all kinds of crazy shit.
Gotta love
this
that
year,
show.
because I'm gonna go to Florida for Christmas for my grandfather's birthday and to see my mom and everything. I just I tucked it in. Just had a reasonable dinner and just laid low. Nothing too exciting.
You know, it's nice to do every once in a while. There's a lot of times you do it like every holiday, so it can get overwhelming, and it's nice to lay low every once in a while.
That's exactly it. As I was thinking about it at one point, and I'm like, how have I ever had a Thanksgiving like this? And I'm like, if I have, I can't remember when. So
right.
it was fine. It was no big deal.
Yeah, and I got to go home, back to Minneapolis, back to the frozen tundra of Hoth. Got to see the mom and stepdad a little bit, and of course, most importantly, as much as I love my mom and stepdad, Ricky the boxer, my big, dumb, smelly dog. Well, it's not my dog. I like to pretend it's my dog. I mean, he's got his own Facebook page, Ricky the boxer. You can find him and follow his slobbery madness. But
Ricky should meet Richie's dog, Greta.
Oh, Ricky is a handful.
Greta is beyond. I've never seen a dog that just so unruly and just full of energy and nonstop. Yeah,
that's Ricky the boxer. It was funny on Monday.
Oh, we're going to have to hook those two up.
Ricky's a handful, man. On Monday, I was having like goodbye beers. A couple old coworkers over at Rock 101, and Morgan had to come in to see Ricky because she had actually never met Ricky. And she came through the door, and he almost knocked her over. He hit her so hard. Ooh, new people! Bam!
I gotta ask, does Ricky do that thing with his ass? Does his tail get wagging so hard and out of control that like almost throws himself off balance from his ass, like swinging to and fro? That's how Greta is. I've seen her knock herself over, like trying to vigorously wag her tail so much that it like throws her off balance. Yeah.
Well, with Ricky, I mean, he's a boxer, so he's got the crop tail, but he twists that ass around so it looks like he's gonna break his back because he's so excited.
Does he lay on his side like the dogs on David Bowie Diamond Dogs? Greta does that. She looks just like those dog characters on that Bowie record. That's we've talked about going up to Bakersfield to see the Mosleys, who are friends of mine, and Greta is actually their dog Ziva's daughter.
Oh, okay.
And they've got a full purebred boxer as well. There's a lot. I'm meeting more and more box people. My friend Jenny Dahl breeds. Well, no, those are more. I'm sorry, those bulldogs.
I love bulldogs.
I think she had a boxer. Yeah, she does the British bulldog thing.
Oh,
totally
that's
different
awesome.
animal.
I gotta get one of those. They're just so fucking expensive, man. They're just so adorable, though. I mean, they're perfect. They'd be perfect for me because it's nice to get a dog that kind of takes after your own personality. Me, I'm lazy. I snore. I drool, and I fart. I mean, that's what I do. That's what bulldogs do. So we would be a perfect match. We really would. But boxers are great dogs. They're just hyper.
You know what my choice would be, and I have to go on record here, and God forbid if certain people hear this, they'll probably be appalled. But I'm actually more of a cat person, generally speaking. Although I'm a friend of all the critters. Mm-hmm. My little brother had the best dog, and unfortunately he passed away earlier this year. He had a purebred blue heeler, and those dogs they're phenomenal. Great markings, great, just the cool look to them. They're really smart. The bark, yeah, it's kind of, it got a real high pitched bark, but as he got older, it got a little bit better with that. But really, really cool dogs. They don't get super big, but they're not like bitch has it in a purse tiny either.
Right.
Which I'm not averse to that, but I mean, that's not for me.
The thing that's cool about boxes, I mean, they love people so much, but they're so damn big, and they think they're lap dogs.
Oh yeah,
but they're not. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know. Hey, really quick, there is a Facebook page for the show now. Very simple. Facebook.com/another effing podcast. You can find us there. Go hit that like button. Also, there's another place to get it if you don't want to watch it on YouTube. You don't have to. You can just go to aaronintheafternoon.com and go to his page. He's got a page where he posts podcasts, the AITA Podcast Network, myself, and a podcast that I actually did when I was at home that is called Mixing It Up. And it's a really, really, Mixing It Up with Casey and Oz, a very cool little deal. It's a couple industry guys, well, Central Minnesota industry guys, and Oz is known as a sound guy, has his own systems, and goes out, and he's one of the best of the best. And it's really fun to get in conversations about that side of the industry that a lot of people, they just don't know about because they just go out and get drunk and watch bands. If the bands are lucky enough for them to actually go out and watch them. But yeah, it's a really cool deal. And they spin, the thing I really do like too is they spin original songs by local unsigned artists. And I'm going to start doing that here too. I mean, why not? I don't have to worry about, getting capped for any
I
don't
think we're going to have to look very hard to find
no, absolutely not. So if you do want to have one of your songs on the show, drop me an email, Izzy at izzypresleyproductions.com. Tweet at me, Izzy_Presley, and we'll see what we can do for you guys. I'm going to spin a band this tonight, actually, our very first one. Not yet, but later on in the show, called La Madness. Just got done with a tour of Europe with Papa Roach. They won a contest.
Wow. Well, that would mean The Madness.
The Madness.
Or is that L.A. Madness?
No, there's no dot, so it's La Madness.
Or is it Louisiana Madness?
They got a Playmate on the cover.
Yeah.
It's a great record. If I was an A&R guy, which I should be, they would have been signed yesterday. Not that anybody buys records anymore.
Now,
but,
what would you say, I alphabetize my records, and I always like to say, I don't know, this band is kind of in between the Cars and Cheap Trick. I'm like, what are they called? Like Cataclysm, and and alphabetically it fits. But what would you say they a bad joke there? But what would you say? What would you say they sound like? Give me two, in between.
They describe themselves as indie grindcore blues.
Oh yeah.
But it's bluesy rock and roll. I guess that's the best way to describe it.
I had that grindcore blues.
You did?
I've had
that's
it.
When you were in
that's a motherfucker.
That's when you were in a grindcore band and you had the blues. Is that what you mean?
I think maybe in certain individuals, I would say it would kill lesser men when you get bit by that grind bug. And for me, it was drumming. But before I really knew how to drum, before Mr. Ramone shaped me into a more functional and much more solid drummer. But
I think that's kind of a good guy to learn from.
I would say so, especially when his teacher was Joe Morello from the Dave Brubeck Quartet, and Richie's own track record is through the roof. But I had that hankering. It was in my early 20s into really, I think it petered out when I got into my early 30s, about 10 years of just going for broke, playing as fast as possible, just because.
Well, it's got to be done sometimes.
Sometimes
it calls for it. What can you say? So I flew back home to the frozen tundra, the Hoth Lake area of Minnesota, and I got a little gripe. I'm tall.
Oh boy.
I like my leg room, so I always request exit row because.
What airline?
Sun Country.
Sun Country. What the fuck is that?
They're based out of.
I thought that was an orange drink.
Orange drink. And
no
now,
nutritional
then
value.
they used to just swap it out because nobody wants exit row.
Right.
You know? But it's great. Yeah, the seats don't recline. Big fucking deal. You get all the legroom in the world. Now they charge you $25 to switch to exit row because they say it's a ticket upgrade.
What?
But you don't get any free shit with your upgrade. Usually you upgrade to first class. You get all those first class amenities. Any upgrade, you get some kind of amenity with, right?
How tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
You're 6'4". You've got an inch on me.
Right.
Yeah, I'm 6'3". That's bullshit. And you know what? I'm with you on this because I noticed from flying abroad, going to South America and flying out of the country. Then when I was on carriers that weren't intercontinental, legroom is not a problem. And what's more, it seemed like people traveled with less. They made less noise. They had less devices, and they were way more chill. And then you go and you're like, oh yeah, intercontinental U.S. flight, yeah, rah 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 USA, and then it's just a fucking nightmare, and they penalize you for being superior and tall,
and they fucking nickel and dime you to death.
Fuck yeah,
$25, for the quote unquote upgrade that gets you nothing other than legroom.
Have you ever gotten kicked off a flight?
Not yet.
Have you ever had them call the Port Authority or the local airport cops?
No, I have not, but
Okay.
I have a feeling you have.
I have not been kicked off a flight, but I got unruly with I believe it was Southwest. Can I say bitch? This bitch working for Southwest.
Absolutely.
Who I had basically tipped her really good, and she'd brought me a couple rounds, and just got really rude with me. I can't remember what she said when she came around again. She just snapped on me, and I was like, I've been nothing but nice for you, and I sympathize, that you're dealing with some, with unruly passengers, but really, I mean, and that just made it worse. And I told her to fuck off.
Nice.
And yeah, I had this was like kind of like right after 9/11. And what made it worse, I also had a box of LPs with me. So like, what's in the cardboard box? Why do you got a cardboard box? And I'm like, the records. But yeah, I actually did have them waiting. And what happened was I basically pulled once I was on the ground, I didn't feel as drunk for one, and pulled I work in the legal community in Seattle, Washington, and I would just appreciate if you gentlemen would call me a cab, and got all suit and glasses on him, and yeah, that was it. So nothing happened.
That's good.
No more drinks though.
No more drinks, obviously.
You're
cut off. You said the F word. There were kids around. No, but these fuckers, they just nickel and dime you to death. I mean, $25 to pay for your first bag. I think it's $75 for the second bag or something like that.
Jesus. Really?
Yeah, and then they don't give you free shit anymore other than like a small, tiny little shot glass of pop.
I want my free shit.
And luckily, I looked at the menu of free shit. It was all beverages, by the way. You don't even give you a fucking bag of peanuts anymore because somebody might freak out because somebody I know down the line has a peanut allergy, and if I smell like a peanut, somebody across the world might die.
You mentioned beverages. Did you see the thing where, according to the NSA, that you can take airport bottles as your carry-on, because they're under the capacity for carry-on liquids, that you can take your own booze if they're in those little bottles, and they cannot make you dump it out or confiscate it.
I did not know
There was a little blurb about this, and check it out. Go on the NSA website, ask somebody that is unfortunate enough to work in the travel industry or works at an airport, but you can bring those little, the little airplane bottles, they call them, and you can bring them on in your carry-on, and they can't do fuck all about it.
That is very good to know.
Yeah.
Do they make those little carry-on in Maker's Mark?
Indeed they do, sir. Indeed
With a little
they do.
wax top?
Indeed they do.
Oh, that makes it even fucking better.
Daddy's drinking Bullet tonight.
That's right. Using your Maker's Mark ice
the
cubes.
Amaze balls.
I hate that fucking word.
I do too.
You're the last person I thought that would say it.
I fucking hate that. The first time I heard it, I'm like, what total douchebag, came up with this hybrid sniglet of terrible mediocrity. But then Iz was nice enough to bring back this, because we are lacking in ice making capabilities.
This is correct.
Here in the House of Horrors, and so he brought back this thing that makes Maker's Mark balls of ice. And when I got home today after a tenuous day in Hollywood, I went to make myself a drink, not Maker's, drinking Bullet, like I said. And the first thing that popped into my mind when they came out of the tray was Amaze Balls. And I'm like, oh, shit. Wow. I suck.
I did want to punch you, but it was...
I wanted to punch myself.
It kind of fit because they're balls.
I was amazed.
And you were amazed. So that one fits. At least you didn't, drop a saying on top of it.
No.
That just makes you want to stab people. Oh, my God. But yeah, so that was my gripe with my airline gripe after my
I am sorry that you were penalized for being
Minneapolis. I know it sucks.
Well, welcome.
It really sucks, and I'm okay paying the $25 because I do like my legroom. I don't know if you saw my my Instagram photo that I put up with my legs fully stretched out.
Yeah,
and still like room. I still had room before the seat in front of me. And it was like, oh, this is glorious. But the seat was kind of stiff on the way back, so my ass hurt.
Can I ask, what's the best carrier you ever flown with?
Man, I've always had good luck with AirTran. I've always had good luck with Sun Country. I mean, they're nice
I don't
planes.
think I've ever flown that.
Delta, I've had no problem with. I really haven't had any problems.
Huh.
I've had good luck while flying. I've never had a canceled flight.
Really?
No, never been delayed.
Really?
Yeah. I've just been very, very lucky. I don't know.
Jeez.
So if you're flying with me, you're going to be on time.
No shit. You're hired.
Sweet.
Best carrier for me, Korean Air.
Okay.
And part of it was that there was hardly anyone on the flight. Mm-hmm. They wear these sort of, I don't know, like early 60s kind of Green Hornet cute little outfits. These very, very like these the stewardesses wear these uniforms that are super cute, and they're all like total Hello Kitty. They go, oh, get your drink, ching chong ding dong, and the seats are huge. There's like online games, movies on demand. The drinks are free. Several meals. I mean, it's a long ass flight. Any of the ones that are really long.
International flights, they take care of you. From what I hear.
Yeah, man, they really do. Qantas, I got a bone to pick with.
Oh,
Qantas is cool unless they know you're a musician, and then they really, really don't want you on their flights, and they don't give a shit about your gear. That's my opinion.
Oh, that's awesome.
The hospitality was fine.
Are you able now to bring your guitar as a carry-on?
No, not on Qantas. When I went to South America, we had double soft bags and really insulated double bags that each carry 2 guitars, and we could take them on as carry-on, and then they would put them in the nicer, especially if you tip, and we were lucky enough that there were people that knew who Rich was, and they would take him and hang the guitars up in with the wardrobe. They have these empty wardrobes for people that have suits.
Oh.
So, those bags have a little hanger like that. So they're hanging up, and it's, that's the best way to do it. No problem with going to South America. And that, I believe, was on American. Qantas, their dimensions, and I got to say, to give them a shred of credit or maybe understanding or empathy, whatever, the week before we went, they had a crash from an overloaded plane. So I guess the screws were being they crashed going off the runway, and I think it was in Sydney, might have been Melbourne. We flew into Melbourne, but their website gave the dimensions, of course, metric, but we figured it out, and our bags were within the dimensions, and it's one of those things that once they have to go check with someone else or get a manager, you've lost. You know what I mean? And I just kind of, there are other things that factored into it, because normally I'm pretty good at being, friendly and amicable and just making, rational suggestions so that everybody's happy. But, I saw my soft bag get chucked, and I do mean chucked onto a conveyor belt. Yeah, that's cool with two prototype guitars that would list on the low end at $2,500 on up. Yeah, that's great.
That just makes me want to cry, because I had those two Israeli gigs. I didn't bring a guitar because I didn't want to pay the extra $75 to fly the V back, because I don't have a gig bag for that. I just got the hard case for it, and I don't have a gig bag for the Dean. I'm like, well, fuck it. I'll just borrow a Les Paul. Luckily, my drummer thank you, Mr. Minnesota Pete Campbell.
Player too.
And so yeah, I used his Les Paul. I used Jason Plouf's Hughes & Kettner, which lights up all blue like Ace. So that was
what type of amp did you use?
Hughes & Kettner.
You used a Hughes & Kettner, but I saw a picture of another amp.
Oh yes, the Black Star that I used during practice. That thing sounded badass, man.
I like Black Star.
It was loud.
They sound good.
It has testicular fortitude, as Mr. McFoley likes to say.
They rock so hard, they'll hurt your feelings.
I love that, dude. That's such a great fucking tagline. You came up with that, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Actually, I kind of appropriated it from my friend Jared Burke Eglinton, millionaire from Seattle, Washington, that I believe he turned to me when we used to play in a band called Scathe, grindcore band. It was in my angry grindcore era. And he was still in high school, and we watched. I think it might have been Assuck from Tampa, and he was like, "Oh, they rock so hard it hurt my feelings." And I've used that every now and then. And when it came time to write something for Black Star, I thought that was a good tagline.
That is fucking beautiful. So
it was between that and "They'll fuck you up for life," and I can't remember where I stole that.
Yeah,
one.
I don't think that's going to go on a billboard anytime soon.
But I think it gets the point across.
It does get the point
Black
across.
Star amplification. It'll fuck you up for life. That works.
It's got a nice ring to it. It just flows off the tongue.
I can't remember what movie. I took it from something.
Well,
don't
feel bad, man. Most of my best material is stolen. What can I say?
Yeah.
I want to start doing a thing now on the show. Every week I want to bitch about something in LA. It's never going to be traffic because I knew about that coming in. I am not allowed to bitch about traffic.
You signed up for that.
I signed up for it. It's like, being from the Keys and moving to fucking Minnesota and bitching about the snow and cold. You knew that horse shit was going to happen. You have no right to bitch because you knew about it going in. I can't bitch about the fucking traffic out here because it's not my bad. It's not that bad. You just work your way around it, and I get my own little serenity to and from work for that hour that I have to drive, which should only be about 35 minutes, but that's fine.
Learn your routes and know the days.
Unfortunately, my routes are all highway.
Pop quiz, what's the worst traffic day in LA?
I'm going to say Thursday.
You are absolutely right. You are correct beyond correct. It is because those who can afford or in a position where they can take a half day or take Friday off are going to bust their hump a little extra hard and put in the extra effort. And for some reason, Thursday is the day that you just don't want to fuck around. Also, I don't know if you know this, the first Thursday of every month is Art Walk downtown.
Oh.
And that's really great. I think everyone should walk around and look at art and celebrate art and art. But you know what? If you got to go down there to do anything that's like helping you make a living or, going to meet somebody, seeing a show, it is a fucking nightmare and it's terrible. But yeah, be warned there.
So my LA rant for this week is the fucking littering that goes on out here. It's fucking insane. I mean, it's bad. Say you're driving down the 101, north or south, especially when you get closer to fucking downtown. Just garbage all along the fucking median. It's disgusting. I mean, there's states where if you throw a cigarette out the window, people want to tar and feather you and fucking throw you away for life. Here, I saw this when we were living like downtown Hollywood. I had to run up to the CVS and walking down Hollywood Boulevard, and there's this fucking dude in a Mercedes. Gets into his car. 10 feet away from a garbage can, mind you. Takes a fucking McDonald's bag stuffed with whatever the fuck was in there and just drops it underneath his car. Drives away. 10 feet away is a fucking garbage can. You lazy rich fuck. It pissed me off.
Life's like, just for me.
Fuck, I'm outside. Having a cigarette on the porch. A bunch of fucking teenagers go walking down. Fucking one of them's drinking like a fucking can of pop. Just chucks it. It's like, what the fuck is going on out here? They're so worried about click it or ticket they can't bust somebody from fucking littering. It's horse shit.
I came down here from Seattle and repeat listeners, if anyone hasn't been completely scared off and terrified or disgusted by now, in Seattle, and we were discussing this the other day when we were going over the nuts and bolts of the bills and water, sewer, garbage, that kind of stuff. Seattle's a green state, and it's also in a basin, and it's surrounded by major bodies of water. So they're very, very ecologically conscious, and there's been some major missteps in the Seattle area. Gasworks Park is a toxic site that is now also a public park, but it's fucking toxic. But they kind of make it so that if you don't recycle and you don't sort your garbage from recyclables, then your water, sewer, and garbage bill is just through the fucking roof. You'll be paying 3-4 bills a month on up for even a tiny place. And if you play ball and they give you the containers and you sort it out, your glass, plastics, cardboard, trash, compost. I mean, there's literally about 5 of them. And that was kind of a shocker moving down here almost 10 years ago, and that just isn't done. However, and I'm going to sound like a grade A asshole here,
which you're good at.
Yeah, thank you.
That's what I'm here for.
No. I appreciate that. I'll be here all night. I have seen how there's this weird subdweller transient economy that and especially when I was managing properties over in West Hollywood a few years ago. Don't ever do that, by the way. Property manager, that's a terrible fucking job. Fuck that. But I would see, and you think like, oh, he fucking bumps. But I would see about 2 or 3 of the same guys, and really, yeah, there's obviously something wrong with them, but they would go and pick up the, recyclables and kind of just pick up on their little routes. And obviously we're able to live just doing that. I mean, I always wonder if some asshole that does that then, gets picked up by a Bentley every night and then goes up into, gets driven to Rancho Cucamonga or wherever the fuck else, or, Agora Heights or something. But Agora Hills, that's what it is. Yeah, alas, I digress.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because they busted this dude up in Minnesota who was a panhandler. But somebody followed him when he was done, and he got into like a fucking Mercedes or something like that and fucking drove home. It's like, really?
I've heard stories like that about some of the like West Side. Like, you got to understand LA, that like if you live in Los Angeles proper, you probably don't go west of the 405 that often. You're either West Side or centralized Hollywood, LA. Or then we're more east of the two. It's like north of downtown, older neighborhood LA. But on the west side, there's been a few cases, and I don't want to out this guy because I don't know if it's 100%, but it wouldn't surprise me one bit. And I've seen this dude in all kinds. Anytime you see anything that's on Venice Beach, this guy is in it. And a very, very good friend of mine who has no reason to bullshit me whatsoever says they saw this guy selling his CDR little handmade demos and panhandling and roller skating around, and then a fucking literally a blue Bentley with a hot ass like Euro model who was his wife picked him up later on up the way close to Santa Monica, and they took off, and the vanity plate was this dude's name. I'm not making this up. I'm not going to out him, but if you've gone to Venice Beach, I'm sure you've seen this motherfucker skating around with his dreads playing Hendrix-like guitar. And that's all I'm going to say. So.
Oh, man. Should we spin a track?
Yeah.
I think we should. I got to have a cigarette.
I need a refill.
I'm going to get to Law Madness in a little bit. I'm going to play them towards the end of the show. Who they will be at the Whiskey this Saturday, and I'm very fucking excited to go down and check that out. Really before we get into the song, quick thank you to Michael Grant from LA Guns at Endeverafter for giving me permission to use the Endeverafter song.
It's mighty whitey, Michael. Thank you so much.
I Want to Be Your Man off of, I think it's anyways. Kiss or Kill is the name of the record. Yes, very cool record. Check that out. He will be in a soon to be named after one of my favorite alcoholic beverages studio very soon. But this is I'm in a Minnesota mood after being there. This is an old band that I'm very good friends with called Slow Children. This song is called Confused. Turn it up. That was Slow Children from Minneapolis. They're still around doing a couple gigs here and there every month.
Thrashing.
And kind of Slipknot-ish. It had some that testicular fortitude that I spoke of. Comes off the record of Children of a Lesser God. And again, if you want your unsigned song, album, band, if you're an unsigned band, send it to us. Hey, maybe we'll get it on for you. If you're in a fake band.
I'm into fake bands where you just record a song and you and your drunk buddies, do all the tracking and then just pick pictures of interesting and exotic looking people to comprise the band and think of a bullshit name.
I'll play it. If it's good, I'll fucking play it. So I came across this story. This is kind of going around Facebook today. I don't know if it came from Huffington Post or what, but there's a condom company that did kind of this unofficial poll. Not really condoms poll. I'm silly like that.
I said nothing.
And I think they took their stats from the states. Well, this lists cock size from 1 to 50 for every state, and I think they took it by orders of condoms, regular size and large size, and they kind of did that.
What's a condom?
I don't know. It's something.
I've never been into acquiring property myself.
I was gonna say it's something Catholics use, but that's a sin. To use a condom.
Oh.
So this is your top 10. This is biggest penises. I don't know why we're talking about penises. I just thought this story was kind of funny. Number 1, North Dakota. Number 2, Rhode Island. I said road.
Rhode
Number
Island.
3, South Dakota. Us Midwestern folks are getting a little love here. Number 4, District of Columbia. That's not even a state.
Nah.
Fuck off.
No, they mean big dicks there by politicians.
Yeah.
The biggest cocks you can imagine.
Number 5, Massachusetts. Number 6, Ohio. Number 7, Arizona. Number 8, Alabama. Number 9, New York. Number 10, South Carolina. Number 15, California. So does that mean since I moved here, my cock grew?
Or you've become just a bigger dick.
I don't know.
I think that's what the...
because my home state of Minnesota is all the way down at number 40. And let's see, where is Missouri? I'm trying to find
I was not born in Missouri, though.
Oh, that's right. You were Indiana.
No, I was born in Arizona.
Oh, all right. So you're...
Am I in the top 10?
You're in the top 10. You've got
all right.
me by,
and then where's Indiana?
Indiana is
at the bottom.
No. Where the hell is it? I just saw it. Indiana is 43.
Okay, and then where's Iowa?
Iowa. Well, that's Midwest, so that's 25.
Okay, and then where's Missouri?
Let me see. That is Montana, Minnesota, Kentucky, Texas, Indiana, West Virginia, Alaska, Wyoming. Okay, it's not there. Mississippi is last, by the way.
No, not Mississippi. Missouri?
Missouri is...
Missouri's so big, dude. We couldn't even put it on a regular sized piece of paper, man. There's my inner St. Louisan.
How am I not seeing it on here? Maybe it's so small I can't see it.
Yeah, could
Ayo. Ayo. I don't know. Just a fun little thing.
Oh.
Talking about cocks.
I may have told you before the one bit of infinite wisdom and understanding and oneness that I realized in Zen from
45.
living in Missouri.
45.
No. Fuck a motherfucker, man.
Let's see. What's the little caption? Missouri. Not much to see in the show me state. It's funny, though. Mississippi, number 51, it just says laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Hawaii, number 50. Prophetically, aloha means hello and goodbye.
Hawaii, they're probably all on what's that, ice? What's that big deal there? The amphetamine.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I've watched Dog the Bounty Hunter. I know what's going on in Hawaii.
Yeah, they got that shrinkage going on.
Mm-hmm. Found another story today that kind
Speedway.
of perked my interest, and I think you're going to enjoy this story
Perhaps,
too.
yeah.
In some very welcome veteran rocker reunion news, Rod Stewart says the Faces have begun planning their first proper shows together in over 2 decades.
Well, it's about fucking time.
I know.
Good job, Rod.
I don't remember where the story came from, so I'm sorry if I don't give the proper credit, but here is the story. 68-year-old Rod. Talk about penises.
He's only 68.
Only
I would
68.
have figured he would been a few more years on.
Yeah, me too.
Huh.
I've seen Rod Stewart live, man. He's fucking amazing. Really is. Says the band he fronted between 1969 and 1975 will play live in 2015. Speaking to Boston's WZLX radio, he
Ronnie
said,
Wood playing with him?
I believe so. Yes, we're getting there. Okay. He said that there was little chance of a new album from the band, but he did confirm the news that diehard fans of the bloke rock have been waiting for. He would play again with the surviving members, Kenny Jones, Ron Wood, and Ian McClagan.
Well, hell yeah. Because was Ronnie Lane? I think Ronnie Lane passed away, and I believe he was in the Faces.
They did a kick-ass cover of, I think it was Blue Suede Shoes.
You ever seen that benefit for Ronnie Lane, a call to arms, or benefit for our ARMS?
No, I haven't.
It's a benefit show they did. I think it's for multiple sclerosis, which I believe that's what he succumbed. I didn't know we were going to talk about this. I think that's what he succumbed to. And it was like a who's who. It was in the early 80s of just like every killer band and different lineups and people jamming together, guys from Zeppelin and from just tons of the Who and Stones and just everybody like pitched in on this thing. That's kind of become a rarity these days. That was shown on cable a lot, like they show The Last Waltz or whatever.
Right.
The Ronnie Lane a benefit for ARMS. That's a winner.
I gotta check that fucker out, man. At the end of the story, it says the Faces have toured in recent years, replacing Stewart with Simply Red's Mick Hucknall. I did not know that.
Interesting.
I did not know that.
I actually had run across something in reference to that, and I just remember going, what? And hadn't really thought about it again. That's weird, huh?
Yeah.
But that guy, that Mick Hucknall is like he was a Sex Pistols fan, like in the Sex Pistols fan club, and like
right.
a old rock and roller. The guy's got pipes. He's definitely got pipes.
Well, I mean, you can hear it in the Simply Red stuff, but I've never heard him actually sing like rock and roll.
He's got
shit
soul,
like that.
And I would actually go so far as to say he is super bad. You know who I would actually put him in a category with? Another white English soul singer who I was playing, Spencer Davis. Oh. I would say he's
white?
got. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Give me some lovin'.
He was white?
He is white as Wonder Bread, my friend.
He was a black dude.
And he's a limey.
Huh.
White limey.
Learn shit every day, man.
I'm telling you, man.
I don't know what else to say about it. I mean,
I am chock full of useless information.
This is why,
useless factoids.
This is why I have your sorry ass on the show.
Oh, well, no, we don't need a search engine, man. We got this dude. Ply him with alcohol.
He's like fucking Rain Man over here when it comes to fucking music. Yeah. Speaking of music and
definitely Polygram Records.
Speaking of you.
Yeah.
You have big news. You get to tour the country.
Yeah. I am gearing up with my fearless leader, mentor, friend, band leader, drummer extraordinaire, Richie Ramone, and we're going on a U.S. tour that's going to start, I believe, in late January through the first week of March. Dates are firming up now, and I'm real excited about it. I don't want to go too far in any details or anything like that because I'm always the last to know and the first to act. And when the details are foggy, whatever, just let me know when it's time and I'm ready to go.
But you do have confirmed dates.
Yeah, there and I think the itinerary is going to be posted on richieramone.com pretty soon. If you go into Richie Ramone tickets in any search engine, then StubHub and Ticketmaster and other confirmed shows pop up.
Well, he has a new record out. That's why he's getting out on the road.
That is true.
What is it? What's the name of the
record? It's called
Entitled
on DC Jam Records, on CD and on LP, white vinyl LP, and also then it's available on Amazon and I think on iTunes as well. I actually do not play on the Entitled record, but I've played was around when things were being demoed for it.
Mm-hmm.
And through the process, the decision was made that I was not going to play on the record, but I've played every live show since.
And you've played a lot of them.
Well, yeah,
A few.
good amount.
A good chunk.
We've made them count.
Toured the
for
fucking
sure.
world with them. I mean,
Yeah, we toured South America, we toured Australia, and we're about to tour the States and then go back to South America, and then there's talk of doing Europe and Japan, and you know it's just great to the best thing that I could really describe, for at least for me, is when that curtain's shut and we're all getting ready and we got just a couple minutes before it's going to start, and they start stomping on the floor and going, hey ho, let's go, hey ho, let's go, and it's just deafening. It's blowing the curtain back. And I always say the same thing. I'll look at Rich or I'll look at somebody and I'll go, I think they mean business. And that's like the last thing. And then it's like, all right, time to go. They seem serious, you know. Little nod to Hunter S. Thompson.
Right, absolutely. And this
these savages mean business.
And Richie, and isn't there one other Ramone that goes out and tours every once in a while?
Actually,
CJ
Ramone.
There's 3 alive, right?
There are 4 alive. Tommy Erdely is Tommy Ramone, the original drummer on the first couple records and who produced a lot of their records. And he is still alive. He doesn't really do anything Ramones based in terms of performing live that I'm aware of. I think he plays like bluegrass. Richie has been, has the Entitled record and has been playing for the last, I guess, close to 2 years now. CJ Ramone has been playing out with his own thing, and the other drummer that played in the Ramones, Marky Ramone, also has his thing too that he's beaten to the ground over the years.
Right. So I mean, you don't really have a chance to see this shit. Not really, because you look, Dee Dee's dead. Right.
Right. What Johnny, Dee Dee, and Joey are
all
deceased.
3 of them. And that's the 3 original guys. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then Tommy Erdely, who is
right.
And Tommy Ramone was a major driving force.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone that's read the Ramones books, there are other characters in the whole thing. Arturo Vega just passed. He was the artistic director.
Okay.
Ed Stasium worked with the band on a lot of their records, so a lot of that sound was through his production and with Tommy Ramone. And then also Monty Melnick, the tour manager, wrote a great book called On the Road with the Ramones. And I mean, he was there since day one and was a musician in his own right and Road Dog. But it's been a crazy experience, and anyone listening is going to think that I'm biased, but I have to really say, out of what's out there right now, what Richie's doing is definitely above and beyond. I mean, we've worked really fucking hard, and the way that the Ramones classics from his era and the other material we do from the Ramones, early Ramones era, comes across live is just unforgivingly punishing and super tight and above and beyond. And the new stuff kicks major ass too. And a more like, even if you're like not, if you're like, well, I don't really like punk rock, the new stuff is super rock into where
right, it is. I've
if
heard
you
the
like
record.
70s hard rock and 80s, like it's got a metal flavor to it. There's a punk edge to it. It's just good music. It's good hard driving rock and roll. And I say this because I can't play stuff I don't like. And
absolutely.
I made that really clear. As I'm not like generally a hired gun as a musician, I can't just like go into something and have somebody go, here, play this, and if I don't like it, man, it's gonna show. I feel really strongly about what we're doing, and I stand by the material.
So that means you would turn down a chance to play with Nickelback?
Yeah, I might do like one show if I got a couple grand or something. I don't know. I mean, let's be real, but
this is true. I think
I'd
sell out for a week. Just sell out for a week. Take my residuals and say, I just can't fucking do this, because if I have to play Photograph one more time, you're gonna see me looking like fucking Kurt Cobain.
The good news is you're gonna be playing with Hanson. The bad news is uncontrollable anal bleeding.
At least Hanson's fucking talented, though. Those kids got some fucking chops.
I know. I just threw that out.
No, I know. I just wanted to, give Hanson some props.
Not to be confused with the Hanson brothers, one of my favorite Canadian Ramones worship genius bands who are based on the Murdering Hansons from the movie Slapshot. That as a Minneapolis, north, I guess you'd be in northern Midwestern.
I thought you were talking about the Hanson brothers from the movie originally.
There's a band called the Hanson Brothers.
Huh.
Oh, I need to turn. And they're Ramones worship. It's the guys from No Means No, who I consider, we don't hang out and bang hookers and do blow, but friends of mine from Victoria, BC, that have been playing since '78. And they have an alter ego band that is called the Hanson Brothers that are just phenomenal.
Hilarious.
Oh,
I gotta check that shit out. I really do. Something happened out here since I've been gone. I don't know if you've seen this in the news, but actor Paul Walker died in a car crash. Do you know who that is? I do. You do. Famous for Fast and the Furious movies that I think are fucking terrible. And I'm sorry. I know from everything that I hear and read in the media that he was a very, very nice guy. He did a lot of shit for charity. Very down-to-earth guy, but I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. He was a horrible fucking actor.
You know Paul who else
Walker,
was a nice guy?
Sorry.
Jesus. You see what happened to him?
I just did the cruise.
Never play the piano again.
Never play the piano again. But he also was in one of my favorite movies, Varsity Blues. And
okay, there's the tie-in.
There's the tie-in. And I just heard today that I didn't realize that they were currently shooting the new Fast and the Furious movie, but it's not done. So does that mean that James Van Der Beek is going to take his place and finish out just like in Varsity Blues?
That's not I don't know, man. He just wrecked my mind with that one.
I don't know. I can't take credit for that. Craig from Minneapolis, my good buddy over at WCCO AM 830, one of my sports buddies and a John Cena fan for some fucking reason. Wrestling geek, come abound. But, I think it's time to spin a song and get the fuck out of here.
I say so. Should I wait until after the song is over? I had a couple local.
We'll get into that in 1 second. Before you get into your local stuff, I do want to thank again Michael Grant from Endeverafter for letting me use "I Want to Be Your Man" as our intro. Yes, that is used by permission, so I don't want any fucking tags on YouTube saying, "Oh, you stole that." No, I didn't. He said I could use it, and I would also like to thank Rockstar Leatherworks, one of our. Well, currently our only sponsor. Great leather watches and bands. Check them out, rockstarleatherworks.com. Handcrafted, handmade leather watches and bands. Very cool shit. I'm going to try to get old Benny here hooked up for his little tour with something that kicks ass. Why not? Why not? So, your local shit you have to throw at me. Let me hear it.
Let's see. Well, there are a couple newer bands that I'm not super into the local LA scene, the punk scene. I mean, I go to shows, but as my own local, my own project, not what I'm doing with Richie. I'm in a band called Trembling Hills, and we just recently started playing again. We've played only a couple shows, but I check out stuff as it comes to me, and there have been two bands that I've I wouldn't say discovered, but I happened across that I've been really impressed with. One is called Egrets on Ergo that my friend Matt Sharon is the drummer for, and they got a dude named Adam Brooks from St. Louis who sings and plays saxophone. Mm-hmm. Heather Galapos on guitar, really good. I'd say if you like The Fall and Killing Joke, and just really I don't know if you'd call it post punk. But or maybe like My Bloody Valentine a little bit. Matt, the note with that is that my old kit from the Feeders it used to belong to Dave Grohl, and he'd used it in Scream, he'd used it in Nirvana. I used it in the Feeders because I needed a really monster drum set, and I ended up selling it to Matt because I knew that he played with the kind of conviction and frequency because he gigs a lot. Because the thing was just stacked up in my garage. I played, I have an old Rogers kit that I use now, the classic Ramones thing. But Egrets on Ergo are really good, and they're recording right now with a friend of mine, Paul Rossler, who his sister Kira was in Black Flag. That's going to be one that people know, but Paul was in the Screamers. He plays in the Deadbeats, that were a 70s LA band. He also played with Nina Hagen in the 80s. A great engineer, great musician. He just put out actually a prog opus that he did when he was 17 years old called The Ark. Just recently I guess he re-recorded it and put it out. And it's also phenomenal. And he runs, I believe it's called Kitten Robot Studios. Mm-hmm. And so Egrets are doing their record with Paul right now. They played a birthday show for Heather about a week ago, and I checked them out. And Matt was putting the Thomas through the rigors. They're really good. There's another band I like called the Smelvatines that my friend Sarah is in, and her sister Shelly. And the only thing I can describe with that is kind of like if you took the Slits and you crossed them with like Goblin or like any like really prog Italian 70s horror movie music.
Okay.
So it gets like girl punk and then super creepy.
I was intrigued at Slits. I don't know why.
Yeah. They're really good too. And then I wanted to announce there's a show coming up, and oh God, I should look up. I should have looked up the date before I did this because I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. It's going to be at the Echo. I want to say it's either the 13th or 14th. I should have had this together. Middle Class, who I work merch for. They're another late 70s LA, very ahead of their time. I hate to say punk or hardcore because they're extremely really ahead of him, like Wire or Gang of Four, and they're playing with the Weirdos at the Echoplex. I have to check the date on that. I'll have to do that before we sign off.
Oh, absolutely. It actually, you know what I'm really fucking stoked about is next week. On next Thursday, that would be the 12th, Jakey Lee and the Red Dragon Cartel. Jakey Lee is out of retirement. He was playing at the fucking Whiskey, and I am fucking giddy about that. But speaking of the Whiskey, you can catch this band there this Saturday. And they will be, they're coming over on Sunday to do a little in-house podcast. They're going to stop over to do the show, and they'll play some acoustic
Flush your
songs.
dog's head down the toilet.
And it's going to be fucking glorious. This is off the album, Chances Are. Check them out on Facebook and on Reverb Nation, Twitter.
Friday, December 13th.
StoneStoreNV.com is their website. This is Law Madness with their lead single called Got Me Wrong. Check this shit out. I will see you next week with these guys in studio. Benny, any parting words?
Keep your head held high and stay strong, my brothers.
I do love you all. It is another fucking podcast. Law Madness. Got Me Wrong.
She's never gonna tell. He said, baby, won't you write me a song? 'Cause your loving ain't never gonna last that long. Always on your way means that you're always gone. baby, won't you write me one song? 'Cause your loving ain't never gonna last that long.